want to sell air and talk about air, real simple. How I would sell air, crazy simple, is I would say, look, indoor air is way more polluted right now than outdoor air. You can worry about something after it's too late, or you can worry about something before it's too late. Do you smoke? No, I don't smoke. Why don't you smoke? Because smoking causes cancer. Well, guess what air causes when you breathe it in? And the reason I know this is because last year my wife was diagnosed with interstitial lung disease. She never smoked a day in her life. And what they do is the diagnosis says that it was something that she breathed in. They don't know exactly what, but something that she inhaled caused her lungs to get as hard as rocks and shrivel up and be unusable. My wife was on life support, basically dead. My wife died 3 times while in the hospital. On life support for 2 months before she was able to get a double lung transplant. And to get a double lung transplant is not an easy thing to do. It's not like you just go to the hospital and say, here I am, I need lungs, put them in. There's all kinds of red tape, there's all kinds of politics. You have to be extremely sick, you have to be extremely lucky, you have to not run out of time because you need the right lungs to match your blood type, to match your antibodies, to be the right size. You need somebody else to die and be an organ donor. You need your body not to reject the lungs. And on top of that, you need some really good insurance or a lot of friggin' money, because the insurance company billed out $7 million so far from my wife's double lung transplant. Okay? Thank God I have really good insurance. But even besides having the insurance, it still cost us a ton of money to go through this, because we had to uproot and go all the way 1,000 miles away. We had to get places to live. We had to have a place in Philly. I had to bring my animals up there, which meant I had to get another house in New Jersey. Okay? We had to have food. We had all these different things that, imagine that you just had to pick your life up, go 1,000 miles, get dropped down. What would that cost you? Okay? That's how I know that my air filters are so killer, because the second that I found out about my wife's condition, I started researching air, and I went out and I got hooked up with this company, and that's right around the time that we got hooked up with this company that carried the air filters. And I brought the air filters home, and now I know what the air filters prevent. I know what types of things caused the disease that my wife had. So, again, what do you want to do? Do you want to wait until you're lucky enough to get on that? Now, I'm not telling you if you never get my air filter that you're going to need a lung transplant. But what I'm telling you is it's all about reducing your risks, okay? It's much easier to maintain our health while we have it than it is to get it back after we lose it, okay? And excuse me if I'm extremely passionate about it, but I'm not telling you stories that I just read in a book and I made up. I'm telling you shit that I lived in my own personal life, okay? So, you know, I never really thought 2 thoughts about the air I breathed, just as long as I was able to breathe in air, until we got into this situation. Now, there's not a room in my house, there's not a room in my office, there's not a room that I go into where I don't make sure that the air is filtered. Okay? How important is your health?